Hello everyone, and this is Kenzie Wonderdrift broadcasting the grand finals of the Starladder I-League Invitational Season 3 in the Southeast Asian region. Two of the top teams in the Southeast Asian region, two of the best. It's TNC Pro Team, the all-Filipino squad. Well, of course, if you discount 1437, but of course it's a Filipino team against the Pride, the team that represents the entire Southeast Asian region. It's Mineski. So right now the lineups for both teams. For TNC Pro Team, you have 1437, Tim Serino, Cuckoo, Raven, and Sam H. And for Mineski, you have Jabs, Moon, Ninja Boogie, Mushi, and the infamous Ice Ice Ice. So right now you can see here the bans for both teams. For TNC, they've decided to ban the Lich and the Puck. For Mineski, it's the Venomancer and the Earthshaker out on the list. So we can see here Mineski's very first pick. They have 10 seconds left to pick who their first hero is going to be. So Mineski going for the Night Stalker. This could be Ninja Boogie's hero, Ninja Boogie or Jabs, because usually the Night Stalker is deployed at the position 4 to roam around the map, provide that sort of intel, and even pick off mid lane heroes. And of course Mineski would like to capitalize on that. Now for TNC on the other hand, we don't know what their first pick is. But if you look at the bans that they've executed, they've already banned the Lich and the Puck. So TNC are aware that Mineski might go for an area of effect assault with the Lich and the Puck as the Nyx Assassin is chosen. This could be Sam H or Tims who could play the Nyx Assassin, because both Sam H and Tims are capable of playing the Nyx Assassin. As for Mineski, they've banned the Earthshaker. So if you look at the two teams, TNC and Mineski, they've banned two heroes that are capable of providing that area of effect damage assault. Lich with a Chain Frost, Puck with a Dream Coil. And then for Mineski, there's obviously the Poison Nova from the Venomancer and the Echo Slam Fissure combination from the Earthshaker. And well, according to the intel, Tims is also capable of playing as the Earthshaker. And of course Mineski, they're trying to avoid that sort of area of effect damage on their team, and TNC also doing the same. So it's quite an interesting bans for both TNC and Mineski. Now the second pick for TNC, it's the Shadow Shaman, one of the best disablers in the game, also one of the best pushers in the game. With a Mass Serpent Ward, TNC could create some space needed, especially for Raven to get bolsterous in the late game. And we all know how Raven is dangerous when he gets bolsterous, especially in TI7. Remember, it was his Phantom Assassin. You know, TNC made space for that Phantom Assassin to become dangerously amazing. And it actually was a crucial moment for TNC, you know, in their first victory in TI7. But right now, Mineski going for the Visage. So we don't know what this Visage is going to be. It could be a mid lane, it could be an off lane. I mean, the Visage is one of the most versatile in terms of vitality, because of course this third skill provides that sort of additional armor, and is also the hero that absorbs a lot of damage. So it's going to be a decent pick for Mineski. I'm still unsure what sort of approach are they gonna go through this game. I mean, they do have a pick off with a Night Stalker. They could also use a Visage. We don't know what the role of the Visage is, so we don't know what sort of plan that Mineski has at their disposal. I mean, this is the one thing I like about Mineski this year. You have Moon or Nana, and then you have Mushi, then you have Jab. So you have three guys who could play the position 2, and you have Nana and Mushi who could play position 1 or 2. They could alternate. So this is the one thing I like about Mineski after TI7, is that they're so unpredictable. You don't know what sort of tactics that they'll execute, especially in the upcoming games. Like, they've actually surprised me a lot of times, like introducing, you know, Timbersaw mid, which is not normally seen, and of course Ice 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 as the Winter Wyvern in the off lane. Normally we see a Winter Wyvern at position 5 or sometimes position 4, but not normally in position 3. So this is the one thing I like about Mineski, is that they're trying to do something new, which makes them really, really unpredictable. And if you're TNC, you have to be cautious about that. I mean, TNC, they tried to experiment, they tried to play things differently. Like, I remember Cuckoo playing as an offlane Omni Knight, which turns out to be not the best thing to do because they get obliterated there. But right now, their TNC, they are sticking to their usual lineups. That Cuckoo is the mid, Raven as the hard carry. They're not gonna experiment a lot, as we've seen in the earlier post TI7. So TNC, they are quite aware that they have to stick to their original game plan. I mean, I do understand why TNC in the earlier attempts tried to experiment, because they haven't really revamped their roster compared to like Mineski, where Mineski, boy, they've really changed their entire roster, which makes them so difficult to read. And as TNC, because they haven't changed their roster, like they've stuck to the same lineup. I mean, I was expecting that they made at least one change, but so far that didn't occur. Simply because they believe that the chemistry is A-okay, and they believed in 1437's leadership, which I certainly have to agree. He's really a very integral piece for TNC Pro Team, as right now TNC have decided to ban both the Rubik and the Disruptor. So you can see here, they've just banned 3 heroes who are capable of giving you that area of effect nightmare. Disruptor, who could prevent you from casting your magic abilities, can also prevent you from running away. Combine that with the Puck, with the Dream Coil, and there's a Lich with the Chain Frost. Absolutely nightmarish combination there. And TNC says, we certainly do not like that to happen. As for Mineski, they've banned a Lycan, a sort of hero that could provide that sort of pushing nuisance, especially if you combine it with a Shadow Shaman. So Mineski are afraid that maybe TNC might go for a split push, because there's a Shadow Shaman and a Lycan, but right now TNC has chosen the Queen of Pain, which is Cuckoo's signature hero. And Mineski has banned a Necrophos, because the Necrophos has this innate ability to negate your sustainability, because of course he has that Heartstopper aura. So maybe it could be a nightmare for the Visage if he is laid with the Necrophos because of that Heartstopper aura. And in order for Mineski to sustain the Visage, they're like, okay, let's just ban the Necrophos. I mean, we have to keep our Visage available. Well, though, I'm still unsure what this Visage is going to do in this game, as Mirana gets chosen for Mineski. Wow, I'm still unsure what Mineski are going to do here with this lineup, because Mirana, we've seen Mirana at 2. Sometimes Mirana's play at the 1. Mirana could actually play 4 positions. I could play in all 5 positions, because if you give her the necessary items, she could be the damage assault needed. And if she doesn't get that sort of items, maybe she could be that secondary support or the primary support. I mean, the Moonlight Shadow is quite crucial in terms of clashes and even for running away. So I think that's what Mineski are doing. They pick Mirana just to protect. I'm not sure if this Mirana is going to be the damage or the battle Mirana, or the sort of hero that's capable of helping Mineski run away from dangerous team fights, as TNC has opted for the Bat Rider. This could be TNC's potential initiator. I mean, Bat Rider is capable of pulling opponents towards the battlefield on the danger zone, and it does make sense for TNC to ban the Disruptor, because if the Disruptor activates a static and kinetic field while the Bat Rider blinks in forward, so TNC's initiation play would be disrupted. That's why they've banned the Disruptor, to provide that sort of counter initiation. They don't like that counter initiation to happen, so it really makes sense for Mineski to go through that. But of course, there are other alternative options to prevent that, like Shadow Demon. You can just, you could just place the Bat Rider in the void where there's no escape for him. And even if he does activate the lasso, it won't be affected because of the Shadow Demon. So Mineski, we are still unsure what Mirana or Visage are going to play. Whereas for TNC, we've already know that Cuckoo is going to be the Queen of Pain. Sam H or Tims would go for the Batrider. Nyx would go for the Nyx would be played by Sam H or Tims. I mean, sometimes Sam H or Tims, they try to interchange what sort of hero that they'll play. So we're still unsure who's going to play Batrider or who's going to play Nyx Assassin. But if you look at TNC's lineup, they have this lineup where they could easily pick off Mineski on a 5-on-1 situation. Because you have the Batrider from the Lasso, as Mineski goes for the Lifestealer. Yes, this could be Mushi playing the Lifestealer. Then we could see Moon as the Mirana. Or maybe Moon would play the Visage and Jabs would go for Mirana. We're still unsure what Mineski has at their disposal. Like what I said earlier, they're one of the most unpredictable teams in the Southeast Asian region. But if you look at their lineup, what I like about Mineski's lineup is that they could sustain themselves in the late game with the Lifestealer. It has a ton of HP at their disposal, and it could provide that sort of damage needed together with the Mirana. Whereas if you look at TNC, in their lineup, they don't really have a lot of right-click damage. I mean, Queen of Pain does have magical damage. Batrider could pull you in the middle of danger. Nyx Assassin has the Impale, but they don't have right-click damage, and I think that's where Raven comes into the picture. So they're gonna pick a hero that's capable of providing that. I mean, we've seen Raven play a lot of those types of heroes, like the Phantom Assassin or the Sven. Maybe that's gonna be TNC's final bet. But TNC has banned the Oracle because they know that if you look at Mineski's composition, they have a mid lane, an off lane, a roaming support, and a hard carry. They don't have a primary support, so they are banning. They've already banned 3, make that 4 primary supports: Disruptor, Oracle, Rubik, and a Lich. So I think they want to prevent. Besides the fact that they want to prevent that area of effect, they also want to prevent that sustainability, because we've seen Oracle Lifestealer combination. It could be quite dangerous for TNC, because the Oracle with the false promises could keep the Lifestealer alive, and right now Mineski banning Ravens, one of his signature heroes, the Terrorblade. Yeah, it does make sense to ban the Terrorblade, because if he activates a Sunder and it goes on the Lifestealer or the Visage, it's going to be a nightmare for the Mineski. Although Lifestealer could, you could lifesteal a huge chunk of HP, but it might not be able to last long against that Sunder, which is quite annoying. So Mineski, we're gonna wait here for their final pick. I mean, we're still unsure what their lineup is gonna compose. Obviously, that's gonna be Ninja Boogie or Jabs who's gonna be picked as a final hero here for Mineski. So let's see what will be the primary support. Naga Siren. So this is quite unusual, because normally we'd seen, if you look at Mineski's lineup, they might go for something like a Lich, Rubik, Oracle, but of course those heroes are banned, so maybe they might go for like a Lion, or what else could be a good support hero? Yeah, I was expecting a Lion to provide some sort of disabling ability, so that if the Batrider ventures in, at least there's a stun from the Lion. So Mineski, I mean, I've seen this combination from Mineski before, the Naga Siren and the Mirana. That's their sort of initiation play for Mineski. Once the Song of the Siren is activated, Mirana could activate that Sacred Arrow and provide that damage needed. So we're now waiting for TNC's final pick. Who's it going to be? Oh, this is going to be quite interesting. Who's it going to be? It's Morphling, chosen by TNC, one of the most difficult heroes to play. Right now, let's see who's going to play. Raven, as predicted, goes for the Morphling. Sam H as a Batrider. Cuckoo, the Queen of Pain. Tims, aka the Defender, as a Nyx Assassin. That leaves 1437 with a Shadow Shaman. Now, for Mineski, it's Ninja Boogie as a Night Stalker. Ice at the Visage. So we still don't know who's going to play Mirana, Lifestealer, or Naga Siren. It could go other way. Maybe Mushi might go for the Lifestealer. Maybe... Okay, Mushi goes for the Lifestealer, and that would mean Jabs would go for the Naga Siren. And Moon is going to play as the Mirana. So we're now gonna wait for the match to begin. We're already aware of the lineups for both teams. So right now, Mineski, TNC, these two teams have a lot to prove in the Southeast Asian region. Remember, TNC is the top dog in the Southeast Asian region. But someone's knocking on their doorstep. It's Mineski. With the drastic changes that they've made in their lineup, they have to say, so TNC is the top dog in the Southeast Asian region. We're gonna prove them otherwise. We're here to show what's worth for Mineski. Of course, with the addition of Ice Ice Ice, Jabs, and Nana, Mineski has really improved. I mean, compare Mineski with Arc, Mag, Ryor, with this Mineski lineup. This Mineski lineup looks so lethal because of the fact that they could play numerous heroes and that sort of, they could interchange positions, you know. I mean, I'm referring to Jabs, Ice Ice Ice, even Moon and Nana. They could, Moon and Mushi. They could interchange whatever position they like to play. Even right now, Ninja Boogie is actually good interchange with Jab. So that's what makes Mineski really dangerous to deal with, like what I said earlier, that sort of unpredictability in their lineup. And they've already beaten the other teams in the Southeast Asian region, like Execration, Clutch Gamers. Although they've struggled against Fnatic, but the fact is this, they've beaten those top tier teams in the Southeast Asian region. So this could be a major test for TNC if they could handle this new and revamped roster from Mineski. And remember what we've seen from TNC, like in the Kiev Major, they struggled against the combination of Jabs and Ice Ice Ice. So that could be a sort of psychological, that could leave a psychological impact for TNC in this game. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The grand finals for the Southeast Asian region. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. Haha. Okay, so I'm gonna change the camera first, and there. Sam H, definitely the off lane, gonna go in the top lane. Gonna provide that sort of pressure. Although I'm not sure who's going to who he's going to deal with, because we all know that the Bat Rider is an expert in jungling, could just burn the forests down. I'll just change my camera. It's quite nasty. But right now, as you can see, Mineski going for a smoke gank anytime. This could be a walking nightmare for TNC if they're not aware of this. And Mushi, the only lone person for Mineski who's not in that position of the smoke gank. Then they might find 1437. Remember, 1437 is very fragile here. He is being spotted here. Now Jabs is there, and more reinforcements are coming. Jabs, let's see. Oh, he gets slowed by Ice Ice Ice, and right now 1437, he's going to die. First blood goes to Mineski. It's Moon or Nana killing 1437. And the positioning of Ice 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 there. 1437 wasn't aware that Ice 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 was there to slow him down. I think he only saw Jabs, but then when Ice 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 came out of nowhere, he's like, oh dear, never mind, it's time for me to go to the graveyard and die. So 2 seconds before the battle begins, the battle begins. The creeps are out. It's Mineski versus TNC. So now Moon, also known as Nana, goes to the mid. I'd rather call him Nana than Moon, because when I think of the word Moon, I think of the Warcraft 3 player, or Moon Meander from OG. That's why I'd rather call him Nana than Moon, but since he'd rather calls himself Moon, then I'll just call him Moon instead. So, Tim's there together with Cuckoo. We normally see this sort of combination. And Nana gets called. See the first creep kill there. But he gets stunned here. This is what TNC are going to do now that Tims is there. Tims is capable of moving to the mid lane to support Cuckoo. We've seen that in TI7. Of course, we're going to see it today. So that means Moon's gonna really struggle in the mid lane, especially with the positioning of Tims and Cuckoo. However, that leaves Cuckoo in a disadvantage because he wouldn't be able to get his abilities early, like of course the Sonic Wave, since he has Tims to share XP with. But Moon has to be cautious here, because remember, Cuckoo has a Poison Touch. It could deplete your Mirana's HP. And we all know how important Mirana is, but right now he's gonna get pressed on here. He gets impaled in there, but the Sacred Arrow does keep him alive in there. And now Tims in a lot of trouble. He's gonna get chased here by Moon. So far, Moon says, no, I'm not gonna assault you further by venturing further forward. Now in the bottom lane, we have Raven and Ice 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 with Jabs there to provide that support for Ice Ice Ice. Jabs, obviously the support hero and one of Mineski's drafters. Has really made a huge impact in this game, for this Mineski team. So he is giving space for Ice 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 to creep around, and Raven doesn't have the space needed because he doesn't have the sort of support that would aid him. Although, I mean 1437 is with him at the bottom lane, so sorry, my bad. He does have that sort of space needed with 1437, but Jabs and 1437 are definitely going to go head on at the bottom lane in the jungle. Now Sam H gonna pressure. He catches Ninja Boogie here. Does he? Or does he not? Oh yeah, he does catch him in. But Sam H, obviously the Bat Rider, is sort of hero that's capable of creating that sort of space with that flames. It gives him that sort of competitive advantage because it allows him, as right now you can see a brawl here in the mid lane. Cuckoo pressuring on Moon. Moon's going to get poisoned in there. And of course no mana, so Moon wouldn't be able to leap out of danger without the mana. But so Jabs is forced to go to the rescue, knowing that Moon is constantly getting pressured. I really like this sort of strategy by TNC. They are aware that Nana's going to be dangerous. Cuckoo blinks in forward. There's a poison touch on Moon. Moon might go down in here. Fairy Fire saves him alive, but Cuckoo, being a bit too aggressive there, gets caught there in the middle of danger. So Moon could potentially survive here. I mean, there is a poison touch, but right now... So, oh, sorry, this was just an illusion. But, okay, Jab says, you know, I don't like Cuckoo to get a kill on Moon, so I'm just gonna deny him. I mean, the poison touch is slowly dealing a lot of damage. So of course Jabs would say, look, we're friends, mate. I'm just there to help you. That's why I ventured from the bottom lane to the mid lane to keep you alive. And of course provide that pressure on Cuckoo. Last hits and denies. Cuckoo up by 12. Up by 7. Because he has 12 creep kills compared to Moon with only 5. Now of course, now that Jabs went to the mid lane, that allows TNC to dominate the safe lane jungle, because of course they could harass some neutral creeps in there together with Tims and 1437. And right now, if you look at this, Sam H also is trying to provide that sort of farming advantage on the top lane by burning the forest, as usual, a typical Bat Rider strategy. So the bottom lane, as you can see, it's already all up to Ice Ice Ice. He was all by himself in the bottom lane. He has to keep himself alive. Right now you see a brawl between Sam H and Ninja Boogie. Now the Knight has struck. Sam H has to be cautious here. He doesn't have mana, but Ninja Boogie, obviously he doesn't have his third skill isn't really maximized, so of course he'll just slow the pace down and say, next time when the Hunter's Knight becomes at its peak, then I'll go and assault TNC. So Mushi, as you can see, he doesn't have any opponents, so that's gonna give him a free farm. Remember, he's leading in last hits and denies. As right now, Ice Ice Ice, like what I said earlier, in the bottom lane, surrounded by 3 heroes. He's gonna get pressed on here. There's Raven. There's 1437. Raven charges in forward. Ice Ice Ice, can you run? Will you melt? Let's see what happens. But of course, he does manage to keep himself alive. TNC doesn't have the sort of vision needed in the bottom lane. Actually, they do. Perhaps they're a bit cautious that maybe Mineski or just venturing around the forest, and they might provide that surprise on anyone in the TNC lineup. And you remember, it's nighttime, and you know what happens? As right now, as you can see here, Cuckoo in a lot of trouble. He gets surrounded. Moon gets a kill on Cuckoo, and that's quite a crucial kill there for Moon. Of course, because you see earlier in the game, he was pressed on by Cuckoo with that sort of victory, with that sort of kill on Cuckoo, he's gonna have that momentum needed. Ice, ice, ice. Well surrounded here, but Mineski bringing in the reinforcements. Ice, ice, ice. Remember, 1437 is a disabler. Tims, oh, there's a disable with the shackles, but here's a reinforcement from Jabs. There's the assault on 1437. They are targeting 1437 to make sure that Ice, ice, ice keeps him alive, but no, Ice, ice, ice does go down, but in return, 1437 goes down. 1437, yes, he does go down. He's dead to the brink of death. He's going to go down. Goodbye, 1437. But of course, I think I like what Mineski did there. They attacked 1437 knowing that it's because of his disabling abilities that's going to create some space needed. So it makes sense for them to assault 1437, although to be honest, it was a failed attempt for Mineski to defend Ice, Ice, Ice because, of course, Ice, Ice, Ice died. But to be honest, Mineski did the right thing there. You know, you don't like 1437 to maximize his disabling potential, because remember, he's capable of doing that as a Shadow Shaman with the Hex, with the Shackles. So Mineski will be in a lot of trouble if they allowed 1437 to live and provide that sort of damage. So now Moon already comfortable in the mid lane. Right now you can see last hits is nice. Moon with 31 compared to Cuckoo with 23. So of course with Cuckoo's death there, it provides that sort of opening needed for Moon. And right now you can see Mineski, now that night is up, Sam H gets caught here. They've already roamed around the map to protect Ice, 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 and Moon. Now they're gonna assault Sam H in here. Oh, Mineski gonna play very aggressive here. Sam H in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have a lot of escape options. He does go down, and look who gets the kill. It's Jabs getting the kill on the poor Sam H. Mushi leading. Wow, Mushi is having a free farm in the top lane. So if you're TNC, you have to be careful there. You don't like it for Mushi. He's already having 47 kills in the creep count. Make that 48. If he carries on with this momentum, if you're TNC in the late game, you're in a lot of trouble here. And of course a late game, but right now you can see Mineski silencing Cuckoo. He wouldn't blink out from that. Now that he's silenced, Moon gets a kill on Cuckoo for the second time. Moon is on a killing spree. He's gonna roll right now. No, Moon is certainly gonna enjoy that. That's what you like about the Night Stalker, Ninja Boogie roaming around, but together with Jabs roaming. Wow, this is the sort of play that Mineski is quite capable of doing against TNC. They're wrecking havoc on TNC with this roaming ability from both Ninja Boogie and Jabs, and I'm beginning to like it. It gives the space needed for Mushi to farm on the top lane. Not just Mushi, even Moon. So right now TNC are trying to adapt into Mineski's tactics. So they brought in Tims and some other reinforcements, 1437 as well, to provide that help needed for Cuckoo. Now that day has come, chances are this could be Mineski's time to assault, because the Night Stalker, of course during the day he doesn't have that sort of speed. So this is where Mineski is TNC are gonna make their countermeasures on this Mineski assault. Yeah, they should. If I'm TNC, I'm going to go and find a prey. Mushi is the primary target if I'm TNC, because right now he's having a best game of his life. 58 creep kills, momentum swinging at his favor, and if he gets Bolsterous in the late game, TNC is going to be in a lot of trouble. Because if you look at their composition, even if the Sonic Wave is activated, Mushi could just dodge that, because once the Rage is activated together, he could go for an Infest in one of a Mineski teammates so that he'd keep himself alive, and then go for a Rage to further keep himself sustainable. So it's going to be a nightmare for TNC if this Lifestealer is at its greatest peak. That's why, as you can see here, Tims is trying his best to prevent that sort of Mushi advantage. But so far, I don't think Tims is going to enjoy that. I think TNC are disregarding Mushi's overall performance. And you have to commend Mineski, because they were constantly roaming around so that at least to provide that sort of distraction on TNC, so they wouldn't be able to focus on Mushi. And it also gives space for Moon to further level up, because initially he was struggling because Tims and Cuckoo were there to press him on. As Cuckoo, though he doesn't get a target there, Mushi keeps himself alive, and now here comes Raven. He's in a lot of trouble. Mushi rotating, going in the bottom lane. Raven, can you run away? Oh, he does run away. Oh my goodness gracious, Raven, how do you do that? Oh, he kept himself alive in there. I thought Raven was in a lot of trouble because Mushi just came in there. He could slow him down there. Yeah, I think they needed... if Ninja Boogie Silence was there, I really doubt that Raven could sustain himself. But right now, Cuckoo gonna go aggressive in his jabs. Now TNC have decided to sacrifice that mid-game approach. And that gives Mineski space in the mid lane. But I mean, sorry, not Mineski spaces right now. As you can see, Raven now going to switch in the mid lane to provide that space so that they could further push in. It's all up to Moon now to defend it. Moon is already level 10 compared to Cuckoo at level 7. So we see a difference in the gap in terms of leveling advantage. As right now, Ninja Boogie and Sam H have seen each other, but they're not going to engage. So far, Cuckoo has just switched in the top lane. They are aware that Mushi is going to be bolsters, that's why they ventured in the top lane, but it's already too late because Mushi's now in the bottom lane. He's having a farm. Wow, Mushi, he already has an armlet of Mordigan, so it's not going to be an easy prey for TNC. As right now, Cuckoo charges in forward. Poison, there's 1437 in the perfect position, and that's where Jabs wouldn't be able to see 1437. Cuckoo blinks in forward. He does get a kill on the poor Jabs, but here's Mushi on the top lane. Finds Cuckoo, rages in forward. Cuckoo's in a lot of trouble. He goes down. No mana for Cuckoo. Wouldn't be able to blink out of that. But this is where Ninja Boogie gets dangerous. Now there's a Moonlight Shadow with Ninja Boogie's third of skill maximized already. The Hunter in the Night is coming, and they might find a potential prey as Mushi gets pressed on here. Raven, knowing that Mushi is dangerous. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go in the top lane to prevent him from doing further damage. But so far, Mushi's still alive as Tims gets caught in there. Now Ninja Boogie with the silence. There's the arrow. Oh, Tims, you're in a lot of trouble. There's a Starfall. Goodbye, Tims. Welcome to the graveyard. Now Sam H, the reinforcements. Raven and Cuckoo gonna charge in forward. Ice. Oh, he might go down in here. Ice. Will the familiars keep him alive? Yes, it does keep him alive. Together with the Moonlight Shadow, the stun of the familiars. Boy, ice. Excellent micromanagement skills in there. And they wouldn't be able to catch him because of that Moonlight Shadow and the familiars providing that sort of impact for Ice to keep himself alive. But 1437 in a lot of trouble in the top lane. There's the shackles, but remember, he doesn't have a lot of mana, certainly not a lot of HP. He's gonna get pressed here. Here's Jabs to the rescue. I mean, to provide more insult to injury to 1437. He does go down. Goodbye, Mr. 1437. No more. This is going to be a nightmare. Mineski, momentum swinging. Now Moon's going to TP. Goodbye, Tims. Welcome to the graveyard for the second straight time. And Mineski, with that roaming strategy, has really paid dividends there. Yeah, they've really timed their roams around. That's when night comes, that's when Ninja Boogie and Moon starts roaming around the map. And so far, it's proven to be effective. That's right now, as you can see, Ice pressuring Raven. Raven doesn't have that sort of damage and sustainability needed. But here come the reinforcements from Sam H and 1437. They might blink in further forward. They do blink in further forward. Ice in a lot of trouble. He's all surrounded here by himself, but he's still alive. I mean, the maximization of the third skill, but the Song of the Siren keeps him alive. Oh, and goodness gracious. No, it doesn't keep him alive. He goes down. The flames have indeed placed him down. Now the teleportation. Jabs in a lot of trouble. Here's Moon to the rescue. There's the Sacred Arrow to stun. Raven might go down here. Actually, he doesn't go down. He manages to live and tell his story of how he survived. But of course, I mean, getting that kill on Ice, I think if you look at what TNC is doing what they're doing right now, they're aware that Ice in the previous matches have been the difference maker, but Raven gets spotted in here. I'm not sure if they spotted Tims. I think Ninja Boogie might be baited here. Let's see. Oh, Mushi. So, of course, Tims is there to provide that intel needed. But, of course, TNC, they are going aggressive on Ice. That's right now, as you can see here. Mushi getting pressed on here. Now, that's 3 members for TNC. TNC says, if Mineski's going to roam around, we're going to adapt to their strategy and try to defend our teammates in there. But so far, it's not successful because TNC couldn't manage to get the most bolsterous kills ever. I mean, they do get a kill in Ice, but of course, Mushi is, of course, the main man in this game. He's more dangerous, more nasty for Mineski, and TNC currently frantically struggling to get a grip on Mushi, who hasn't been killed in this game, who's having a free farm. It's 103 kills for Mushi, and TNC obviously in a lot of trouble in here. But right now, as you can see here, Tim stunned. Oh, poor Tims, the familiars with that space created together with Moon and that damage outburst. And of course, Tim says, wow, Tims, another time at the graveyard spent for Tims. Yeah, Tims normally gets caught out of position, and this is his weakness even in the previous TI7. And of course, that was one of the major criticisms on Tim's performance overall. He oftentimes gets picked off easily. So if you're a TNC, that might be a cause of concern, as right now, as you can see, Ninja Boogie, there's a lasso and Moonlight Shadow activated to make sure he manages to keep himself alive. No, he doesn't keep alive. Now here are the reinforcements. Here's Moon with a Starfall, with a damage. On Jabs was able to root Sam H with a net in there. Now Ice charging in forward, slowing the pace down for TNC. Raven gonna get chased in here. He's in a lot of trouble if he gets caught in there. He still manages to hide Raven. No, he doesn't get hidden. He's caught in there. He tries to wave away. He does wave away, out of danger for the 2nd time in a row. Oh my goodness gracious, Raven. Raven having the best escape game of his life, but of course he doesn't have the momentum needed, as a net worth all in favor of Mineski. Look at who's leading the way. It's Mushi, and look who's number 2. It's Moon. So TNC were so heavily focused on Ice that they forgot that Mushi and Moon are going to be the difference makers in the late game. They are going to be the difference makers for Mineski. I mean, look at Mushi. He has the armlet of Mordigan. He's not going to be an easy prey to kill. Now, here's the thing. If TNC are going to go and assault Moon and Mushi because they need that sort of gold and net worth advantage, the problem is this. That's going to leave Ice in a position to gain the upper hand, because Ice, we know the Visage is one of the most sustainable of all heroes, especially if you maximize the Gravekeeper's cloak. So while TNC are gonna go and assault Moon and Nana, Ice is going to have a free farm. He's gonna get the items that will make him more bolsterous and dangerous, and that's not a good sign if you're TNC, because you're gonna have to deal with 3 guys who could give you the most punishing, excruciating damage, especially when the time comes for 5-on-5 assaults, and you don't like that to happen. Remember, Mineski has a better initiation play compared to TNC. Because, as you can see here, they have the Moonlight Shadow. There's the Infest Bomb as 1437 gets pressed on in there. He goes silence. Goodbye, 1437. You wouldn't live and see the daylight because Ninja Boogie was there. But if you, like what I said earlier, Mineski has a lot of dangerous initiation options, other than the Infest Bomb that we've seen earlier. They could go for the Song of the Siren. They could go for, and while that happens, they could send a Sacred Arrow to provide that sort of damage needed. So Mineski, with a lot of initiation plays, they could easily pick off TNC in 5-on-1 assaults, and they could even deal it on 5-on-5 because of the Moonlight Shadow and the Song of the Siren. That's right now Mineski gonna go for erosion here, but TNC catches them. They've already placed wards to provide that sort of intel needed. Now we could see an assault anytime, but so far both teams playing very patiently. If you're TNC, you do need to get this Roche defense. Oh, Tims has revealed his position there. He's going to be in a lot of trouble as he gets chased on there. Cuckoo tries to blink in forward to provide that further damage, but so far, No damage has been dealt yet, as right now, as you can see here, Mushi charging in forward. Mushi, he's in a lot of trouble. Mushi, he does go down. That's a huge kill for TNC there. And right now, more reinforcements are coming. More brawls are coming. Sam H goes for the lasso pull on Jabs. And the Sonic Wave activated. Jabs goes down. This could be the momentum builder for TNC. Yeah, of course, if you look at that, why TNC were able to win that brawl, because they've seen the separation from Mushi, and Mineski were hesitant in there. Mushi was being pressed on there, but of course, but right now, as you can see, here comes the buyback from Mushi. A brawl is further coming, but so far, it's not going to be a classic 5v5 brawl, but a patient game waiting. But right now, TNC have conceded the Roche Pit, or definitely they're not going to concede it. Sam H is there. He might go for a blink and pull, but he has to be cautious in there. But Mushi gets the Aegis of the Immortal, and more nightmares are coming for TNC. Especially among all the heroes who has the Aegis of the Immortal, it's their biggest nightmare. Mushi, who's having the best game of his life, net worth-wise, free farm-wise, even overall stats in terms of hero skills and assists. And of course, he's already having the best infest bombs of his life because he has those familiars. He has Ninja Boogie, he has Moon, he has Jabs, the illusions. He has so many options to start an infest bomb. And remember, those familiars can stun you anytime. So if you're TNC, oh, here comes the reinforcement, here comes the brawl. Mushi out of nowhere, surprise like a magician out of a hat. And of course, TNC, Mineski retreating out of danger. Now Sam H says, we're going to overextend here, but he has to be cautious. The familiars are there to provide that stun. Now Ninja Boogie goes for the knight. Now Jabs goes for the song. This could be the counter assault for Mineski. Moon goes further forward, blinks in forward, jumps in forward, activates the stars. Now Tim's in a lot of trouble there. He is invisible, but he gets caught by the Sacred Arrow. He gets killed, and Mushi gets a kill on Tim's in there. Boy, this is going to be momentum for Mineski. Cliff of Fortification activated. Mineski couldn't handle this firepower, couldn't handle this initiation assaults, this numerous initiation flexibility brought in by Mineski, and the pressure that they brought in, because obviously Mushi having the sort of free space needed on the top lane. Now it's paying dividends here. Right now, if you're TNC right now, this is not a good sign. This is not a good way to start the finals. I mean, they've already made a lot of mistakes. Letting go of Mushi was one of them. And they had the momentum in the Roche Pit. But of course, they were a bit very hesitant in there. And so far, it's slowly killing them, because right now, Mineski with momentum at their side. Obviously, Mushi with the Aegis of the Immortal. It's going to be a living nightmare for Mineski. I mean, for TNC. Make that an absolute premonition, as Tim's... Oh, sorry. Tim's is certainly going to play tag with Mushi there. Now we go here as Moon. So let's look at Moon's items. Okay, so Moon is not yet at its peak in terms of damage. I mean, he does have the Hurricane Pipe, but it's not going to be enough. What if Moon has a Desolator? Now, if you're TNC, you don't have a lot of armor options. Well, minus the Nyx Assassin, but obviously the Nyx Assassin has an armor that could counter negate magical damage with a Spy Carapace as Ninja Boogie chases Cuckoo. But of course, Cuckoo could just blink out and provide a surprise there for Mineski. But right now, as you can see, 1437 gets killed in there with a brawl with Mushi. If you're 1437, you don't like that, because obviously Mushi could obliterate you to shreds anytime in the game. So right now, space created here for Ice Ice Ice, knowing that Mushi and Moon are having one of the best games of their lives. I mean, with that sort of momentum at their favor, that gives you know, Ice 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 the time needed. So that's what they're doing right now, Mineski, knowing that TNC are currently hesitant because they don't have the firepower needed. They don't even have the necessary items needed. As right now, Tim's. You're gonna go away. That's very smart there for Tim's. Now here are the reinforcements. Ninja Boogie. There he activates a dust, but so far he doesn't see Tim's. So here's what Mineski are going to do. They're gonna patiently wait for Ice 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 to get the necessary items, because he has a Hood of Defiance to keep himself further sustainable and to keep himself alive, because Mineski has an area of effect magical damage nightmare because of Cuckoo's Sonic Wave. So right now, Cuckoo is aware of Mineski bringing in Make that 3 heroes, and Cuckoo blinks out of danger. He has to TP out. He is trying to find a way to run away from these 3 heroes. Can he run away, Cuckoo? Okay, he does manage to keep himself alive, but a single arrow spotted on him. But the familiars have a plan on their own. And if Cuckoo gets caught in there, but Ninja Boogie with the speed advantage says, no, I'm not going to go to Cuckoo. Or actually, I think Ninja Boogie should have gone in further forward. I'm not sure. But now Cuckoo has revealed his position there. He's just hunting creeps on the top lane, going for the typical cheese strategy by blocking the creeps. But of course, Mineski, they could just further push in forward. Remember, they have illusions. They also have familiars, which are good pushing heroes. So far, I have not seen an impact of the wards coming from the Mass Serpent wards as Raven gets pressed on here. I mean, I've seen it like as it gets a kill on Mushi, but other than that, it's quite ineffective. As right now, as you can see, Ice getting stunned in here. He does go down. Familiars too late to try that stun. Oh, jabs, comes the song. But remember who's coming out of there? It's Mushi. He comes out from a magic trick on the hat. And right now, TNC in a lot of trouble. Moon is godlike. He is godlike. Oh my goodness gracious. Someone stop Moon. TNC, someone else has to stop this monster called Moon. He's not a girl riding on a tiger. She's an absolute beast, an absolute monster to deal with. And if you're TNC, that's not a good sign. That's certainly not a good sign. Mineski with momentum at their disposal. And they're going to go for a smoke gank here. Tims might be caught in here, but no, Tims doesn't get caught in there. Oh, Tims, you're in a lot of trouble. He gets rooted by the net. And there's a stun. Tims, goodbye, Tims. Welcome once again to the graveyard. Welcome to the afterlife as Ninja Boogie gets a kill. So Cuckoo obviously in the top lane trying to find that sort of momentum. He does have a Veil of Discord, but with Ice, with a Hood of Defiance, I doubt it's going to make a major impact. I mean, he is buying a lot of escape items. He's not buying damage items. I mean, his only damage item, well, Veil of Discord technically is a damage item because it provides further magical damage. Because once it's activated on Mineski, they'll absorb a lot of magical damage. But I think Ice, I think he's aware that Mineski might be dangerous with a Magic Assault, so he might go for a Pipe of Insight now that he has a Hood of Defiance. So that makes Mineski really difficult to kill, because if he has those items with a Pipe of Insight, and even if Cuckoo goes for the Sonic Wave and all the screams in the world, he's still not going to be able to survive and live to tell the tale. So I think Cuckoo's definitely going to buy a Shiva's card now that I've seen a Mystic Staff there. So right now, TNC trying to find their way. They're trying to claw their way back in this game. So far, it's all Mineski from start to the end. Even if Tims did his best to pressure on Moon in the mid lane, it's still not effective because Moon has managed to survive in all numerous attempts in the mid-game wars with Cuckoo. But right now, you can see Tims, if he gets spotted here, he's going to give free space for Mushi to have additional gold. So Tims has to be cautious. He was normally caught in there by the gust, so he doesn't like to be caught in there. He's just there to place a ward to keep himself alive and TP's out of danger zone. Although he could have gone for a courier snipe there if he see that courier earlier, but of course he TP'd out knowing that Mushi's there. Mushi's gonna murder him anytime soon. Now Moon has a Lincoln Sphere, and he might go for a Black King Bar. Oh my goodness gracious, TNC, they have to see what's going on, because as long as Moon has that BKB, he already has a Lincoln Sphere. Sam H blinks it forward. Too late. Oh dear. Not good initiation there for Sam H, but of course, knowing that Mineski could just easily roam around the map, you know, if you're Sam H, you'll be like, okay, at least if I lassoed, Moon there, I might be in a lot of trouble, because of course, Mineski has a lot of roam around options, especially once the ultimate from the Night Stalker is available. As Cuckoo gets spotted in there, I'm not sure if Cuckoo's aware, but there's a bomb coming. It's a major bomb. No, he doesn't get caught by the stun from the familiar. So far, both teams are a bit stagnant in their approach. There's not a lot of aggression here, and it's understandable why. Mineski getting the necessary items, of course, Moon going for a BKB, and Visage, Ice, possibly going for a Pipe of Insight. So it provides a sort of sustainability needed for Mineski. Of course, they have a lot of escape options. Mineski, you have the Moonlight Shadow, and of course, you have sustainability from physical damage with Mushi. That's right now. Ninja Boogie gets pressed on by Raven. There's a stun from Tims, and of course, a mana. Oh ho ho ho! There comes Jabs with reinforcements. Mushi with the bomb, and of course, Mineski trying to wait for them to wake up. There's the arrow. That's what they're waiting for. That's the signal of the brawl about to start. And now Tims goes down. Goodbye, Tims. Once again. You just met your creator, Tims. So far, Mineski have already pushed all the towers. Tier 1 tower in the mid lane, Tier 2 tower in the mid lane as well. They've already ventured all the Tier 1 and Tier 2 towers, whereas TNC really struggling to get a tower. I mean, they've already just destroyed the Tier 1 tower in the bottom lane and the top lane, but so far, that's the only towers that they've killed. Now, Mineski riding the momentum at their favor. That gives them a lot of map control because, obviously, without the towers, no one's there going to spot Mineski. No one's there to spot Mineski. So if you're Mineski, you're definitely going to get the items needed. But, of course, TNC doing the same as well. But, of course, if you're Mineski, you certainly have the advantage because the net worth is at your favor. And right now, TNC, they're desperate to get kills in here because they do need to give items for their heroes, especially that of the Queen of Pain. But no, look who's spotted here. It's Tims. He gets rooted for the nth time. He gets spotted. There's the Impale. And right now he's going to get pressed on here. Sam H ventures in further forward. Oh, Jabs has managed to keep Mineski alive. And he does go down. Goodbye, Tims. Now back-to-back deaths for Tims. And now Sam H in a lot of trouble. He's going to get pressed on here. There's a Moonlight Shadow. There's a jump in forward by Moon. Now Sam H uses his flaming ability to keep himself alive by burning the tree lanes, trying to keep himself alive in the forest net. But no, he gets spotted there, and look who spots him. It's Ice with the familiars. Sam H, rip-de-doo, doop-de-doo. He gets caught in there. He tries to blink it forward, left, and right, but he gets spotted. It doesn't matter. He goes down anyway. Whether he goes loop-to-loop to the left or loop-to-loop to the right, he still goes down. Now, of course, while Sam H is dead, Moon just venturing further forward. Now there's this sort of opening that Mineski are going to do, because right now TNC's source of defenses, two of their sources of defenses, namely 1437 and Sam H, are gone. So definitely they're going to go for a push because it's a 5-on-3 advantage in favor of Mineski. But right now 1437 is alive, so now of course TNC has some sort of defensive options needed if ever Mineski plans to push in. So right now Mineski, they are knocking on the doorstep on the mid and the top lane, but so far Raven is having a free farm in the bottom lane, but Mushi forced the TP there because he doesn't like Raven provide that sort of damage. Now the Manta is activated, but the damage from Mushi is too much. Raven just, of course, uses one of his illusions to go out of the danger zone. He does manage to live in there, but so far, this sort of strategy by TNC, they are going for a rat split push here, and this is not a... If you're Mineski, you have to be cautious with that. You certainly would not like to encounter or to lose in those sort of strategies, because it's going to be quite embarrassing if you lose to that into that rat gaming there. As you can see, Raven capable of doing that. He has the Manta style, he has the damage needed, and so far it's not enough because Mushi could just obliterate him to shreds and pieces in there. It's right now Ice. He might spot Raven there. Raven. If Raven gets caught in there, it's going to be goodbye to his life. Now the scan, they're going to scan the Roche pit. They've already seen a position there, but I'm not sure. As right now, Raven gets caught in there. Now he's going to try to swirl his way out of danger zone. He does swirl his way out and managed to live there. But so far, he was nearly caught in there by Ninja Boogie. Now Cuckoo in the top lane, he's going to do what Raven's doing. He's going to go for a split push. He has a lot of escape items. He can blink out. There's a Yule Scepter to further blink out. But right now, Mineski going for the Roshan. This is for the second time already. But of course, Jabs, knowing that Cuckoo is there with a Rat Gaming, says, I'm going to go back in the top lane. Right now, the Dire are scanning. Mineski scanning. Mushi once again gets the Aegis of the Immortal. And this could be the blow for Mineski that they desperately need. Now, they're going to venture further forward. The Roche advantage all at their favor. And look at this. Mushi has a Desolator already. Item check. Oh my goodness gracious, a Desolator. Even if... And Mineski doesn't have... I mean, TNC doesn't have a lot of armor options to deal with that Desolator. Okay, this is what Mineski are going to do. They're going to go for another Infest Bomb. I'm not sure if they're aware that the entire TNC roster are trying to find their way, poach their way in the bottom lane. As right now, Tims gets a catch on the Familiar. Now, TNC are aware of what Mineski are doing. Going to go for Infest Bomb. So TNC says, let's just back off in the bottom lane. Let's just try to find another opening, because so far we were caught in... We finally caught that Familiar. If they weren't able to find that Familiar, it could be another Infest Bomb nightmare that TNC has to face. So right now, Nana already, or Moon, already with the cheese and the BKB. So Mineski already riding the momentum with that sort of sustainability that they possess. If you're TNC, this is a living nightmare. This is actually not a living nightmare. Wait, it is a nightmare already. A nightmare that you wouldn't be able to escape forever. I mean, look at Morphling. Morphling doesn't have the necessary items. Even Cuckoo doesn't have the necessary items. I mean, yeah, she could escape there, but of course a single stun in there and a silence there from Ninja Boogie is going to be a nightmare for Cuckoo. But of course, he does try everything at his arsenal, but Cuckoo gets obliterated there. There's no chance for Cuckoo there. He's all surrounded there, disabled by the net, by Ninja Boogie silence, by the stun from Moon. It's not going to be... There's no escape option for Cuckoo there. I mean, he does have this Sonic Wave, but it's not going to be enough, especially knowing that Mineski has a lot of a lot of sustainability to deal with damage assaults with the Black King bar and with the Pipe of Insight from Ice Ice Ice. As right now, Mineski, they're going to go in the bottom lane. They've seen an opening. Now that Cuckoo is dead. No, Cuckoo is dead, I mean. And the tier 3 tower in the bottom lane gonna get assaulted there. Lincoln Sphere set. Now finally the Mass Serpent wards, which I haven't seen for a very long time. And Mushi is like, does it look like I care? Oh ho ho ho, the combination's about to begin. This is not good for TNC. Certainly not gonna be good for them. The sleep is set. They're targeting Raven. They know he's capable of escaping. He's gonna go down. He does go down. Tim's next on the list. Activates his Spike Carapace to keep himself alive. No, he doesn't keep himself alive. He's dead to the brink of death. Goodbye, Tims. And 1437 out in the picture. Welcome. He just signed his own death sentence in there. TNC, no one else to defend their base here. Tier 3 tower in a lot of trouble. It's down. It's down. Goodness gracious. It's already demolished in there. Mineski absolutely demoralizing the morale of TNC. 1 by 1. 4 on 4. 5 on 5. Whatever attempts they make, TNC is not gonna live and tell the tale. Even if morning has arrived and right now the sun has just risen, still it's not gonna be at their favor, because right now the damage, the sustainability, as Cuckoo gets caught in there, gets rooted there by jabs, and Familiars are there, but so far he uses the Yule Scepter, keep himself alive, but he gets stunned by the other Familiar. Goodbye, Cuckoo. That's not a good way. As GG, well played. Mineski takes game number 1 of this series. Boy, this is a good start from Mineski and a good momentum builder, and the best way to silence all those critics who say that Mineski are just intro boys. Well, good way for Mineski. This is once again, and this is Kenzie Wonderdrift signing off.